Good morning, everybody. Let me just reposition myself and the camera so I'm not so close. I have 3 Bible verses. So, for those of you who are not interested in my Bible readings and whatnot, that's what today is. It's Sunday. It's the day that I do Bible readings and discuss religion. But I picked these particular 3 because they kind of spoke out to me. Excuse me, yes, I do need to take drinks every so often. But let's get to it. Let's get down to nitty gritty. Now, I have my Bible, which it is a NIV. And all these come from the New Testament. The first one comes directly from Matthew 6:34, where it says, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." I'm going to pause and talk to you about that verse. The reason why I felt that verse was speaking out to me is I've had too many people on here on YouTube itself talking about things that are not going to happen until sometime tomorrow. Now, I don't mean tomorrow as in Monday morning. I'm talking about tomorrow like in months, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the ifs, ands, or buts, because when they come, and I will deal with it then. Whether I'm disappointed or elated, very happy, however you want to put it, excited that I got my RV, whatever. That, and people are worried about how am I going to afford it and finance it and yada, yada, yada. Well, I'm not worried about it. I just got done doing the budget. And not including my next paycheck. This is including what we had in the bank plus Jerry's benefit money, or Social Security money, whatever you want to call it. We have enough in the bank right now, literally right now, to literally pay off all our bills in one fell swoop and still have a couple $100 left. Now, I know this information is not that important. It's my information, but I just want to point out, for those of you who are worried about my ability to afford an RV, don't. One, that's something that's going to happen down the line, some tomorrow. Okay. 2, it's none of your business. Just because I talk about it does not mean that you need to throw in your 2 cents worth of information of how you feel, because bottom line, that's something for me and Jerry to worry about somewhere down the line. We should be worried about today, because there's enough issues or enough troubles or enough things to deal with today that we shouldn't worry about tomorrow. Now, if you want to work, I don't know why I'm saying that. If you want to worry about tomorrow and stress over it, that's fine and dandy. I learned after 50 years of doing that same thing that all it does is causes me to stress out and get nowhere. So why am I worried about tomorrow? Tomorrow comes. Besides, we can sit here and make all the grand plans that we can conjure up in our head for tomorrow or somewhere down the line in the future, and we go to sleep tonight and maybe we don't wake up tomorrow. Never can tell. That's one of the biggest reasons why I try not to make grand plans without realizing the ups and downs and lefts and rights and all that stuff. So let's not worry about tomorrow. Let's not worry about Jim's future. Let's worry about today and what you, on your own, have to worry about, let alone what I have to worry about each day. I know what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow is Monday. I have to go back to work. That's a given. But But like I said, I can go to bed tonight and not wake up tomorrow. Or I can go to bed tonight and wake up and find out that, there was a major disaster and the world's falling apart and we need to, head for higher ground. I don't know. Next one comes from 1 Thessalonians 1:3. And it says, "We remember before our God and Father your..." Wait a minute. Yes. "We remember before our God and Father your work produced by faith, your labor promoted by love, and your endurance inspired by hope in the Lord, in our Lord Jesus Christ." Okay? Let's talk about that one real quick. I know a lot of people have been making comments about my usage of crystals and what I found out their design and what they can do for you as an individual. I believe these things were created by God. Now, other than that, the whole passage right there, it speaks volumes, because our faith in God the Father, produced by faith, our love is, from Him, is produced by faith in Him. The labors that we do, I know for myself, the labors I do at work, the labors I do around here at the house, is for the love of my family. And my endurance to keep going, even though my body and my parts of my body and sometimes parts of my brain says, no, stop. I keep going in hope. Everything I do is in hope to make things better for myself, my wife, my mother, my circle of friends, everybody I'm connected to, whether it's work related or family related or just friendship related. And I consider every single buddy who's in my a subscriber of my channel, and then some, friends. And some of them close enough to be, like my wife. She loves the Fry life. She loves the Fry family. She's been watching them for a long time. She's been buying merchandise and sending messages of hope and support for Mary because of her health issues. Mary and my wife have become very close, almost like a pair of sisters. I love that for her. I'm used to being an only child. I'm used to being alone. I'm used to being the person who does whatever by himself. I don't ask for help a lot. I really don't. I'm the type of person that I would rather. I shared a meme on my Facebook channel that says I would rather be strong by myself than weak in a crowd. That's me. I do not have a crowd mentality. I do not like large crowds. I don't mind small crowds of people that I know, but even sometimes that's not my cup of tea. That's Jerry's cup of tea. I would rather have a small crowd of friends or family at the house, Jerry entertaining them while I'm in the background cooking or cleaning or serving or doing stuff like that, because that's me. That's my mentality. First Thessalonians, it's 1:3. I'm sorry if I didn't tell you that. It speaks volumes because God the Father produces faith. We have faith in God. I can say for myself, I've had faith in God all my life. There's only, well, I shouldn't say all my life, but most of my life. There was a 10 to 15 year period that I didn't know what to have faith in. I know I didn't have faith in mankind, because I could see the world crumbling around me and mankind becoming more and more disrespectful, spiteful, or just downright unworthy. Now that's in my eyes. Now that's not saying that they're unworthy in God's eyes, because we cannot really say who's worthy or who's not worthy. But our labors, the things that we do, is prompted by love. I don't know a single individual person that does not do stuff out of love. Yes, I've done a lot of stuff for Jerry in the beginning of her cancer journey that I grumbled about and complained about and just wasn't happy about, because I did not understand the full picture. But here we are, a year into her cancer situation, and once I realized what the situation was, like back in November, December, like a couple months after my big blow up, I realized, no, I gotta help take care of her. She's gonna be sick. She's gonna be lethargic. She's gonna be tired. She's not gonna want to get up and move. She's gonna be very picky with her food. There are times that she didn't eat for almost a day. She might have had like protein shakes or protein drinks or something soft and whatnot that didn't cause any stabbing pain in her mouth because of the whatever was going on. I endured. I still endure all that's going on out of hope that things will get better. And I've seen things get better, but I'm also seeing that now that she's back on her chemo pill, it waxes and wanes. Some days she's full of energy. Some days she is just like today, the day after taking her Cabometyx pill, her chemo pill. She is tired and lethargic and not really hungry all the time. And it's just something I have to endure out of hope for her well-being and for her betterment. Third and final one. It is from 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8. And it says, about all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sin. Right there is a very important one because of what's going on as YouTube creators. Jerry and I have endured all kinds of hatred, displeasure, negativity, mockery, slander, and a multitude of other negative issues. Jerry and I have come to the realization that these people do not have enough love in their lives, do not have enough positivity in their lives, and just want to try to drag other people down into their misery. It's not working anymore. What we have decided to do, not only, remove any kind of negativity or hatred from the channel so it doesn't cause problems with other people, but we have decided, or at least I've decided, I can't say what Jerry Ann has decided, but I know, I watched a couple of her videos and I know she's practically in the same mindset as I am lately, and that is, instead of feeding into it and getting into debates or arguments, it is better just to, apologize for how they feel, hope that, give them, tell them we hope that they get, things get better for them, or they can see the light in their lives. And we try to smother, Jerry, more than me, she tries to smother people with love. That's great. But I'm not as vocal as she is when it comes to, loving everybody. I'm more subdued, sit back, and just pray for these people. Because Love is one of the most powerful things, whether you want to call it an emotion or a physical attribute or a spiritual attribute or whatever. Love is one of the most powerful things on the face of the planet. Love can shatter mountains, build bridges, and bring people together. Now, I've never really hated anybody. Yes, there's a lot of times I do use the word hate, but it's not hatred as in like I loathe it. It's more like I'm displeased with it. You know, there's a lot of things that's going on in my job that I'm not exactly thrilled with or happy, but I don't hate it. You know, it's just something that we have to deal with because honestly, we're the small wheel in a big cog. You know, but the thing is, one of the things my father-in-law used to love to say is, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, some places don't like squeaky wheels. They just remove and replace it. That's fine. Do whatever you need to do to make your leadership happy. You know, whatever. And yeah, during rush time, during the lunch rush at work, things can get very hectic. I still love my job. I still love the people I work with, even though there's one, a couple of them that need to how do I put it politely? Need to get the lead out, or need to find, It's not that I don't want this particular person not to work at my job, because that's just wrong. But like me, I go into work every day hurting, but I still love my job. I still push through the aches and the pains and whatnot to get my job done. But my love for people is unending. Yes, I don't always trust people because people can be downright conniving. Love is one of those things where you either have love, unconditional love for someone, or maybe maybe like I have unconditional love for my wife. I don't ask her for much. Yeah, every so often it's like, ooh, I wouldn't mind having that, but is it worth it? Is it going to be useful? Is it going to be something that is just going to be, collecting dust and never get used? That's what I do to weigh out if it's important enough to have. Because, there's a ton of stuff that I would love to have. Some of it just for the hell of it, and some of it is like the books. I look at books and I go, sounds interesting, looks interesting. Will I ever read it? Will the information inside the book be useful? I don't know until I get it. I have, I'd say a good half dozen to a dozen books that either A, I have not read yet, or B, I need to finish reading. And I know that sounds odd because I do have a good number of books. But see, to me, now that I'm confident in my reading skills and I'm enjoying the materials I'm reading, it's a love. It's something I love to do. But what the Bible is talking about, what the verse is talking about, is not about things. It's about one another. Okay? One of the highly used or heavily used and constantly repeated themes in the Bible, from Old Testament to New Testament, is to love one another. Now, I know there's various groups, web pages, YouTube pages, channels, what are we going to call them, that spew a lot of hate towards myself and Jerry Ann. That's fine and dandy. That's their opinion, whether it's right or wrong. Not my choice to judge that. Do I hate them for it? No. Do I dislike it? Yes. Does that mean that I'm going to stop loving them the way Jesus wants us to love each other? No. It's like, I've never had siblings. I'm an only child. But I've watched my wife and her family, her brother and sisters, deal with each other. And at first, I was like, I don't see them getting along. I can't tell if they're getting along or fighting or what they're doing. That's because of the factor I'm an only child. I've never dealt with siblings. But I realized after living with them for quite some time that this is their way of showing each other love. It might seem a little odd. It might seem a little short. It might seem like a lot of different things that aren't positive. But when you realize that it's just the way each individual family member is and how they show love. Now, my wife talks to me a lot about love language. Everybody has their own form of love language. Something I'm still kind of learning because I didn't have siblings. My wife's love language is she is more of a hands-on. She likes to be touched. She likes her back to be rubbed, her arms, her legs. She likes that gentle, loving touch. That's part of her love language. Mine, on the other hand, is when I'm not in a good mood, leave me alone. But if I'm in a good mood, I love to sit and watch TV with my wife. I love to read books to her. There's a lot of things I love to do for her and with her. Everybody has their own love language. But when it comes to loving another person, not in an intimate way, but just in an everyday way, is how we treat each other, what we say about each other, what we say towards each other, things of that nature. That's what Jesus wants us to worry about. Treating each other and speaking with each other with dignity and respect. Not to go behind their back and make up stories or gossip or tell tall tales about the person or misrepresenting the person and what they said and what they're about. I see that a lot on the internet. And it's one of those things where I go, I don't care what the modern day way is. The Bible itself is ageless. The Bible will be the same, might not be written in books, but it will be the same 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 years from now. The basis of what's in the Bible will be the same. And that's to basically care for each other, love each other, honor each other, be respectful towards each other. Not what I see on a daily basis. There is no respect or love or concern or compassion from a lot of people on the internet, and it's the same way off the net. I'm seeing less and less compassion towards other people. I work in a college. I see all kinds of people. Different races, different nationalities, different health conditions. I mean, there are two students that I see in the food court on a regular basis. One young lady is wheelchair bound. She's basically in that wheelchair. I don't know if it's paralyzation or birth defect or medical condition. Don't know why. Don't care. I don't care why she's in that wheelchair. She's in the wheelchair. She's another human being. Compassion I have for her because she's stuck in a wheelchair and may never have the freedom to run on her own 2 feet. I have compassion that she's actually pushing her way through college, and she, one or two times I've actually dealt with her, she's a very polite, compassionate type person. The other person who I see on a regular basis in the food court is a young man who has a prosthetic leg. I feel compassion for him because he lost his leg, but he is moving around on a prosthetic leg going to college. He's not worried about his looks. He's not worried about his issues. Don't know if he was born without the leg. Don't know if he lost his leg in an accident. Don't know nothing about him. But he's in college, not worried about what other people think about him. Worried about his education and getting a career and a college degree. I have compassion for that because he's walking around with that prosthetic leg, doing what he needs to do to get by. There's nothing wrong with those people. Just because they look different or they're not, able to walk on their own or have to rely on a piece of equipment to get about. A lot of people, when they see somebody with that kind of lifestyle, either feel sorry for them or some form of regret and whatnot. They're not looking for our sorrow. They're not looking for our regret. They're not even looking for our permission to be. They are who they are. They know what they have to do, and they're doing it. Now, I don't know if there's people who are either got an issue with it or not, gossiping behind these two people's backs. Who knows? I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there. We all seem to have a group of people who are going to gossip or make fun of us or do stuff behind our backs just because. But why? Do you know how much better this planet would be if we truly called ourselves Christians and lived by Christ's examples? There would be more compassion, more love, more dignity, more respect. A much happier, beautiful planet. But no. There's always somebody who Satan has their ear and filling them with negative energy or negative vibes, and they run with it. They don't sit down and question, why am I thinking this way? Why do I feel this way? Is it proper that I feel this way? Is it okay for me to talk about these people this way? Is it okay for me to hate them or down them for one reason or another? Now, if people really thought about those things, they would probably realize, no. But I think, for all intents purposes, that we are supposed to love, respect, and uplift each other. Not what a lot of people on the net do. Keyboard warriors, as some people call them. Now, I'm not going to call anybody out anymore because it doesn't matter anymore. What matters is trying to get the point across that, okay, you feel this way towards us. Why? Ask yourself why. Ask yourself deep down inside, why do I have to make remarks about these people? Why do I have to make channels about these people? Why do I have to make websites to gossip or talk badly about these people? There's no reason for it. No rhyme or reason for it. You just do it for whatever, whatever it is you want to do. It's fine. That's your choice. It's your choice to be negative. It's your choice to talk ill about other people. It is your choice to sit there and ridicule other people's videos and what you think is their lifestyle. That's your choice. But you've got to realize that those choices, those negative, improper, ungodly choices, are going to weigh against you when you get up to the gates where they weigh and measure your worthiness of going beyond the gates into the heavenly realm. Yes, the love of Christ washed all our sins away and gave us a free pass. But how long or how strong is that free pass? There's disputes out there on which sins or which evils or whatever you want to call it is going to prevent you to get past the gates. Nobody really knows. But we have the ultimate guidebook. This is the ultimate guide to how to live a Christian life. Yes, I believe that there's some information missing because I don't think using things that God gave us to use for healing and things of that nature. Using healing crystals date back to the Egyptian Empire, dates back to 500 BC or further. Using herbs and plant life to create medicines has been going on who knows how many hundreds to 1,000 or more years before Christ became Christ, before God walked on earth. I am pretty sure that a lot of the different civilizations of old during and before the time of Christ, they didn't just sit there and go, oh, you're sick, get the heck out of town, take your sickness and illness elsewhere. No. I am pretty sure that every civilization, every town, every city, every whatever had a healer or what we now call a faith healer who mixed herbs and spices and used chakra stones and whatnot for healing and those kind of things. Yet people nowadays want to go, oh, that's ungodly, that's evil. Really? Think about the dawning of time. I am pretty sure that mankind did not sit there and go, oh, he's sick, there's nothing we can do. No, I am pretty sure somewhere in the BC era, somebody had to go, I wonder if these herbs and spices and all these different things, all these different types of plants that the other animals eat and seem to be healthy will work for people. Faith is one of those weird things because you can have all the faith that you can muster and something happens along that line of you've got this faith in God, you've got this faith in something that you feel is a higher power than you, and something goes wrong. Who are you to blame? Yourself? The world around you? God? Who are you to blame? There's no real blame. It's just the way the universe can be. It's just the way things are. You know? It's like there are days where I have a bad day and something drops and falls and I just snap because I'm just having that kind of day. That's life. Now, I can look back at my life and I can say that the 15 years of not fully believing in God and just having a bad decade and a half. And I'm reminded of the old footprints. You know, the footprints in the sand. You know, you see two sets of footprints walking along the shores of a sea. Then all of a sudden, only one set of prints are visible. And you ask yourself, Jesus, I see the footprints. Then yours are gone. Why weren't you there during the time I needed you the most? And Jesus will turn and answer the man. The footprints you see, the one set of footprints you see, is me carrying you during your time of need. It's that simple. There are many times in everybody's life, that will be the story, a part of their life. That they'll see the footprints in the sand and then they'll only see one set and assume that one set is theirs and not Jesus carrying you. Oops. I have no tissues and no napkin or handkerchief. But the tough times that we face, we always assume we're by ourselves. When in truth, we're totally not by ourselves. As a person who has had strong faith, and it waxes and wanes, that's the truth. I find myself a lot looking around me, looking at what I'm doing, stuff that I have, things that I've studied. And I don't find anything wrong with studying other religions or other beliefs or like for me, most of my studies into the Norse people and their religion and their ways of life and whatnot, it's exactly that. It's a study in history for me. It's not oh yeah, this sounds a whole lot better than Christianity, I'm going to switch. No. No. I am rooted in Christianity, and I don't think I'll ever be able to get away from that. But I also know that my roots spread deep and wide because of different ancestral backgrounds. Now, I'm not going to rattle off all my ancestral background because, one, I don't know the percentage of it, and two, I've rattled it off so many times I'm tired of it. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, but if you're a Christian, you shouldn't be reading that stuff. It's not right. Well, Yes and no. The yes part is if you get too deep into it and never come out, never come back to yourself. No, it's because it's factor. If it wasn't something that we're supposed to be able to read or study or get to know, so we can possibly deal with those who are going to be in your face, improper, impolite pagans. Now, I know from my own past, you have a group of people who believe in paganism, witchcraft, shamanism, all those kind of things that a lot of people are like, oh, no, 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 no. Christians shouldn't be reading that stuff. Well, like I said, during my 15 to 20 years worth of soul searching, I realized that anything and everything out there, whether it's the healing crystals or herbalism for healing, there's always a bad side. There's always a bad side to everything. Everything has, basically everything out there that you can know. Let's say I pull out, let's see if I can find it. No. Okay. Here's one of the smaller books that I have. And then there's this book. And this book. And then, well, my book for crystals for beginners. Okay, let's see here. What did I just pull out? Let's see here. This is a book on Norse magic. This is a book on runes for beginners. And this is a beginner's guide to learn about the realms of Norse paganism A to Z. If such knowledge was not meant for everybody, we would not have rediscovered this kind of information. That and a factor, all that information that I can gain from reading those books, yes, I have not read those books just yet, but all the information I can gain from those books can be used one of two ways. For the betterment of not only myself, but those around me, or for the destructive purposes that most people connect to paganism or witchcraft or shamanism or druidism or a lot of different religions that are what are called earth-based religions. What that basically means is these people who study or practice or live the way of the old ways of paganism, they believe that the earth and everything on the earth, trees, rocks, grass, whatever, has a magical purpose or a life essence or life force. That's great. You know, those are the type of people who want to be stewards to take care of the earth, not overmine it or overharvest it or overuse it. There's a balance. They believe in a balance between humanity and nature, and they try to live in that balance. Same with, Norse paganism. The Norse people were pretty simple, earth-based life. They had their farms, they had their mead makers, they had their bread makers. Everybody had a purpose. And the purpose of the shaman or soothsayer or whatever you want to call them, oracle, whatever you want to call them, was to help the community stay within a balanced lifestyle, balance with the earth and whatnot. They were also the ones who would predict if the raids are going to go good or if the harvests are going to go good. They basically read the signs in nature to basically tell the community or the leader of the community when to harvest, when to plant, things of that nature. A new couple would come to them and ask the shaman for a blessing for a child or a good pregnancy or one thing or another. That's the way they lived. Now, I'm not saying that we lived the same way back in the BC era, pre Christ. But I'm pretty sure there was something similar amongst the Jewish synagogue and the priests and whatnot. People would come to them for advice, blessings, whatever. Back before Christ, before the Roman Empire took over, the priests in the synagogue, is it synagogue? I think it's called synagogue. But the priests were the lawmakers and lawgivers and advisors to the leader of the people. They got their advice or their information or their however you want to put it, from God, from Yahweh, and brought it to the people. And that's how it was for a very long time before the Roman Empire, interfered, and the synagogue and the priests became corrupted by Roman money. Whatever. It happens. But more and more people are going back to earth-based beliefs. Norse paganism, Wicca, shamanism. I don't know if Druidism is coming back. But there was a lot of hubbubaloo. I remember watching a BBC special. They were doing a study on the Druids of England and the rhyme or reason for Stonehenge and why the middle stone in the Stonehenge ruins or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it ruins because it's still there. It's still standing strong after thousands of years of being there. But they found a particular stone in the middle of Stonehenge that looked like it could have been some sort of sacrificial altar. And nobody knows the truth behind Druidism because even back in those days, during London's conversion between the Roman Empire and the Norse invasions and whatnot, Druids were a very secretive group of people, and only fellow Druids would know the secrets of Stonehenge. But this particular BBC special talked that the altar stone, which looked like it had blood on it, had several different human sacrifices. And I'm like, I don't think, well, maybe back then before things changed, there might have been a couple of human sacrifices, but I'm not sure. Nobody's really sure about the purpose of Stonehenge. They're still trying to guess on how they built it to be such a basically it's a mystery still. Everything about Stonehenge is a mystery. They've had a lot of speculation and guesswork and scientists and mathematicians and astrologers and all kinds of different bigwig, people. They go, oh yeah, it's lined up with these stars. Oh yeah, during certain times of the year, the sun went through this particular point, and whatever. I say it's a mystery. Leave it a mystery. It makes it more fun. But anyhow, I just realized that I've been on here for almost an hour, and I am sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. Actually, I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Hopefully, the Bible verses moved you into a better understanding on Christianity. I don't know. Some people think they know everything. I know I don't. Not trying to make it negative here, Jim. But hopefully you enjoyed the Bible verses and my point of view of what the verses said to me. Now, the verses might say something totally different to you, but hey, that's fine. That's part of being somebody who wants to study stuff. Is, it's not always pointing towards a particular person, but the person who's reading it or studying the information may feel it speaks louder to them than somebody else. Who knows? But I'm going to leave you with my words. I'm going to leave you with just one last thing before I start to sign off. And that is about love. Love is one of the hardest languages, yet easiest things to show. Love can be shown by simple, beautiful, elegant words. Love can be shown by doing something out of your norm or out of your comfort zone to show your love towards for me, my spouse, a family member, a gift given to a coworker when they need it. Love does not have to be words, does not have to be physical. It could be just simple help. Loving your neighbor, knowing that your neighbor is down and can't do certain things because of an injury, and not even asking for money. Just get your lawnmower and go over there and mow their grass. Pick up the trash. Put the trash can out when it's trash pickup day. Just simple little things, even in your neighborhood, or grand gestures in your home. Everybody has their own different love language. Everybody has their own different way of showing love. But love is the ultimate gift. It is the ultimate power. The more you love each other, the more powerful your connection becomes. Just simple things. I can give you a list of things that I would think would be the perfect way of showing love towards me and my family. But I'm not going to, because there are those who won't take it the way I intend it. But, if you love me, that's fine and dandy. That's great, because, I see a lot of people in my comments that their comments are lovely and generous and just uplifting. And I know those people love me for who I am. I've never asked anybody to change for me to show love. I've never asked anything from anybody. I do things out of the graciousness of my heart. Jerry says it all the time on her channel. If you haven't heard it today, I'm telling you today. I'm telling you that I love you. It's hard for me to do something like that because I just, it's not that I don't love anybody, but I just verbally, I'm not a verbal love language type person. I'm giving and generous and kind and do everything I can in my power to help out people in need, or help out people who need some form of help. But I mean, if more and more people were to be more loving, not only just in their hearts, but in their actions, their deeds, their words, the world would probably spin a lot better, and there'd probably be a lot less chaos amongst people. And I really, truly hope you guys start, if you haven't, showing your love for another person, whether it's just a simple card of thank you, or a simple, I see that you're having trouble. Is there anything I can do to help you? Things like that. I mean, it's one of the biggest and sometimes difficult things to do, because maybe it's going out of your comfort zone to provide assistance to a neighbor, or dropping a card or something like that in somebody's mailbox saying, if you didn't know it, you were loved. Something simple. It's not that difficult. At least, I think at first I thought it was, but it's not that difficult to just notice your elderly neighbor is struggling and hasn't have a visitor in days. Just a blank note card. If you didn't know it today, you are loved, and then just drop it in their post box. Things of that nature. It's not, it don't cost much. I mean, how much does a blank postcard cost? Or how much does a blank note card cost? Or just a simple piece of paper like I have, this notepad, and jot down a little note, letting your neighbor know that she's loved, or appreciated, or whatever. Just drop it in their post box. Most people I know has a little box of stationery stuff, blank postcards, note cards, envelopes, stamps. If you've got kids, you've got fun little stickers you can put on it. Maybe even get your kids involved in it, so your kids start to learn to appreciate and love your neighbors. Or even if you've got kids that are constantly, arguing or getting on each other's nerves, take one of them and sit them down in a room, just you and that one child out of the two that you may have if you have more than one, and have them write a nice thank you, or I love you, or I appreciate you type card, and get them started on loving one another and loving the neighbors. I know sometimes it's hard to do that with your own kids, but you know what? It probably will help them a whole lot in their relationship with their siblings. But anyhow, I am sorry my video is going to be over an hour. I am going to bid you guys a good day. If you enjoyed this vlog, go ahead and put your thumb up, thumb down situation. If you have any questions or comments about this particular video, or ideas of showing each other love, throw it on to the comment section. And I will either read it to others or use it, or something will happen with it. If you're not a subscriber and you like today's vlog and you want to join to hear other things, or see what I'm getting into, or maybe you want to just click on there to subscribe, so every Sunday you know that I will have or you can be reminded I have Bible verse videos. You can click on that subscribe bell, and once you do that, there'll be a button that says subscribe for if you want to, and afterwards there's a little bell, so you click on that bell and YouTube will notify you when I put in my next video. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.